Back at it again. The Griff Report. Midweek edition. Week 2 of the NFL. College and pro games here for Thursday and Friday. That's September the 12th and September the 13th. After a happy birthday to myself on September 11th. We'll start out here, NFL here. Miami -1.5. Hosting Buffalo. The series versus Buffalo for the Dolphins hasn't had many wins lately. This win could be the stepping stone towards the AFC East, but that's what they had the chance to do last year late in the season, where they led for a good part of the game, only to end up losing again, making it 11 of the last 12 now that Buffalo has beaten the Dolphins. A couple of new guys on the field, though, for Buffalo at wide receiver. They don't have the same experience level. If they're going to win, the Dolphins are going to win, this is the game they've got to win here. They do have the most feared wide receiver group in the league in Miami. And we saw them come from behind after playing a bad first half last game. Probably the Tyreek Hill arrest thing probably had them a little bit shaken up. I don't know if the consensus is going to be talking home team by the time Thursday gets around here or not. This is Tuesday. Right now, 54% of the spread and 57% of the money line is on the home team Dolphins to break that trend. They've had a rough time with the Bills. There's just no denying it. Those wins over the Dolphins are the reason why the Bills have taken over the division since Tom Brady's departure. On down looking at it, the total here, see 71% of the money right now is on the over, but 3 or 5 games have gone over that total. It goes down to like about out of the last 15 games, 8 of them would have gone over that total between these two teams. You know, they play twice a year. The Dolphins, those are the games where the Dolphins have been ahead, are the ones that have been under. So even though the Dolphins have the passing offense, and I'm not so sure that the Bills don't want to run the ball a whole lot more from quarterback and with the running backs than they have in past years, where they got a little throw heavy, and it ended up not working until they brought the quarterback run back. But I mean, you can't do that all year with all the wear and tear on the quarterback. I understand they're trying to have Josh Allen there in the playoffs, and I mean, getting there along the way, he's going to have to run the ball some. This is the best shot that the Dolphins have to beat the Bills, because later on in the year they're going to be a more cohesive unit, I would say. But the game will certainly be worth watching. I mean, you got to know going in the streak there for Buffalo, the dominance in the matchup, and I mean, if you still take the Dolphins, as I might still take the Dolphins, you know that going in, and you got to be okay that you've just gone against that big of a stat. But see the small line here. This thing is a game of inches, so I'll just take the Dolphins on the money line -125 instead of laying the 1.5. 1-point wins do happen, not often, but they happen. On to college football Thursday. All right, Arizona State versus Texas State. It's early, but the consensus is coming in on Texas State. That seems a little surprising to me. Haven't seen Texas State, but I do know they beat UTSA 49-10. Arizona State themselves beating Mississippi State, who's due for a kind of a down year in the SEC. You know, changing the program there with the passing of Mike Leach. It's tough to overcome those things for Mississippi State, but that game was 30-23. So I mean, the over is where I would start to look at. Arizona State's pass defense wasn't that great. They gave up 9 yards per pass in the game 1. It's a high number, but I'm more comfortable taking it over than picking either one of these sides, because it's hard for me to say take the small school over Arizona State, even though that's where the dollars are going, is on Texas State at home. But that big conference school, you know, just the amount of students they have, Arizona State is a humongous university. But my pick is over 58.5 here between Arizona State and Texas State. All right, Friday we have two games of college football. First one, Kansas hosts UNLV. Now, you got to be careful with this game here. Kansas came in ranked and got upset last week versus Illinois. This UNLV team has already won outright once from the underdog position in week 1. Did it in stunning fashion, like 27-7 against Houston. So they may be better than they were originally expected to be. We're going to find out how good they match up against Kansas here. The public right now is on Kansas. 70% of the consensus is laying at 7. I'm not sure. Traditionally, I know the Jayhawks have been good, and I won some money on them last year, but I'm not sure this is the position where I want them at. Even though coming off that loss, I would expect them to put up a better performance, win or lose. But for me, I'll just stick with a small play on the other side, which is UNLV plus 220 on the money line. We'll see how it goes. The early money line stats have about half those money line bets. People are sliding over there to that plus 220 money line and taking UNLV for the outright upset. And one of the reasons they're doing that is because between that game, that's pick 107 on the board, UNLV plus 220, and then the other game, which is Arizona U against Kansas State. I looked at this other game, and I put this strategy together for Friday night here, which is taking. I could go 0-2, but if I go 1-1, I'll be ahead. If I take Arizona on the money line as well, they're plus 240. That's just a strategy for me. I keep my bet small, and I'll be money lining both of these underdogs here with my small plays. See if I come out ahead, go 1-1. Who knows? We could have both upsets. Kansas State, they've had some turbulence here in the early season as well, but they usually bounce back after losses, and they always play well at home. We'll see how Arizona does going in there. Right now, the consensus is on Arizona against the spread as well. 58% consensus for Arizona, but my pick is Arizona plus 220 on the money line, and we'll see. That's where I'll have my Friday popcorn there. Something to entertain me on Friday evening is Arizona plus 220 and UNLV plus 220. We'll see how it goes. Both favorites could very well cover. Who knows? I'll be back with Saturday games here shortly. As always, best of luck and enjoy your September. This has been the Griff Report.